29 of 45 videos to my 40th birthday. I was just reading I had a document that I was going to turn into a book. It's full of a bunch of random ideas, derivatives of maybe someone else that had an idea, but it's my perspective on their idea. And this one is how giving allows greatness to come to you. A simple example would be if you had a glass of water, and that glass of water is full, and let's say that glass of water is undrinkable for whatever reason. Say it's just some dirty pond water or whatever, puddle water. The only way you can improve it is that you'd have to empty it. And the amount that you empty dictates how much you can put in. So if you only took out, say, a quarter of it, then you could put a quarter of clean water in there. So that would dilute it a little bit. So if you're only given quarterly of what you can give, you're only opening up so much space for better things to come in. Now let's think about half the glass. Half the glass, you'll be able to put in clean water, and it'll be a cleaner version of the quarter. So things are a little bit better. But is it drinkable? Would you still drink that water if it was half pond water, half, say, filtered water? I would suggest not. And 3/4, the same idea. You dump out 3/4 of it, what would be left? A quarter filthy water, 3/4 clean water. But I don't know that I would still drink that, or that I'd want that. But if you dumped out the whole glass, then clean the glass, which could be forgiveness. So if you forgive and get rid of the dirty water, and then put in clean water, you're opening yourself up to a much more enjoyable life, a cleaner life for whatever that is to you, a much more nutritional life, healthier life. So you're going to have a clean glass of water. So if you're not giving, you may still be holding that dirty pond water glass, because you want to hold on to that pond water glass for whatever reason. You think that it's all that you deserve. You think that's all that you can get. You don't think there's anything more out there. Whatever it is, you may be holding on to a dirty, filthy, unusable glass of water, because you're afraid that if you give some of it away, that you may not have water when you really need it. So if you give away, when you open up space in the universe to bring you something different, and if your focus is in the right way, you should be able to get something that's better than what you gave. The idea is not giving to get. You have to be willing to receive. There's a difference between getting and receiving. Getting is more like a force. Receiving is more from power. There's a big difference between force and power. Force is what bosses do. Power is what leaders do. So do you want to force things to happen in your life, or would you rather just have them follow you with your power? Because when you're all powerful, which was talked about in the filtered soul, when you're all powerful, you remove the mind and the body, and the only thing left is the soul. Because at all times, we're living in 3 dimensions: the mind, the body, and the soul. And in the filtered soul, I talk about removing the mind and the body. So the only thing left is the soul. And that's who we really are, is our soul. We just have a mind that filters the soul. And then we have a body that filters the mind and the soul. So when you're trying to force things to happen, really what you're doing is you're trying to use the physical world to change the physical world. But that isn't how creation happens. That isn't how transformation happens. That isn't how quantum leaps happen. All that happens when you get out of your way. When you get your body out of your way. When you get your conditioned thoughts out of your way. When you allow things to happen. Like a quantum leap is just this simple. Quantum leap's waiting to happen. It's like just begging. It's like a dog, just like, can you please play with me? Can you please give me some entertainment? Can you please pay attention to me? It's just waiting to happen. And what gets in the way is your thoughts, your belief that it can happen. And more importantly, more powerfully, what gets in your way is your body. When you get outside of the physical realm and into the non-physical, that's when miracles, quantum leaps, great things happen. Great things don't happen when you're pushing a boulder around or when you're hauling around a wheelbarrow of rocks or concrete. Great things happen when you get outside of that and into the non-physical. That's why the wealthy are doing things that take the mind. And the broke are doing what takes the body. The mind is much more powerful than the body. And the soul is even more powerful than that. So when you allow your soul to rise up, you're allowing your greatness to come out. When you allow your greatness to come out, anything your mind can imagine can happen. That's how miracles happen. That's how quantum leaps happen. That's how all amazing things happen. So when we get outside of our way, get our mind out of the way, allow the mind or allow the body to get out of the way. Get the mind out of the way of the soul. So when you live from a higher power, which would be the mind's more powerful than the body, the soul's more powerful than the mind. So there's 3 parts to it. Are you living your life based on what you can see, taste, smell, hear, and touch? Or are you living your life inside of a potential of who you are? Are you living by limitations? Or are you living by your imagination? If you're ready to live a life that you can dream of, then click on the link below so that we can have a conversation and discover this dream you want to live. Discover what has been stopping you. And most of all, we'll discover the next step you need to take to make those dreams come true.